What's going on, Wolves and Warriors? My name's Jay Stewart, and this is the Better Body Academy podcast, the #1 show for those looking to permanently overhaul their mind and body without dumb diets and unsustainable workout programs. We banish the fitness industry BS and replace it with science-backed strategies proven through countless client transformations. In the Better Body Academy, we help busy men and women around the world get unstuck and back into momentum so they start feeling strong and sexy again. Our mission is to transform 1 million lives, and you, my friend, could be next. And on that note, let's get straight into today's show. Guys, welcome back to the Better Body Academy podcast. This is your #1 podcast where you come if you want to feel this level of I'm sick of the diets, I'm sick of the unsustainable workout programs, and you're after a permanent transformation, both mind and body. So I'm your host, Jay Stewart from the Better Body Academy, and in today's episode, guys, we're going to be talking about fulfillment. Why do we feel unfulfilled? And where can we start to find this sense of fulfillment coming back? Now, to start this episode off, I just want to shout out to one of our coaches, Courtney, who, as she described in the last episode, was competing in a comp, her first comp on the weekend, and our girl got to 4th place. Yes, well done, Courts. She absolutely killed it. She's just had a photo shoot done today as well, and she is looking glam. So hopefully those photos surface quite well. So well done, Courts. Great work, and super proud to have you as one of the coaches in the Better Body Academy. Guys, we're going to be talking about this idea of personal growth. I am literally a Tony Robbins fanboy. There's a couple of people that I follow in this world, to a T. One's Tony Robbins, another one's Bob Proctor. I think that these two guys are the OGs of the personal health and self-health industry. And I've come across a little bit of stuff that they talk about. So let's set the scene for this. Do you feel like you are getting to the point of where you are starting to progress in your health, your wealth, and your relationships? So those surface level things where you think to yourself, you know what, like I'm starting to do well here. I'm starting to get into momentum. This is something that a lot of the boys in the Better Body Academy and the girls inside the Women's Academy find is when they start to progress, they start to get into momentum, and it feels really, really, really good. Then what happens is they get to the top of their mountain, whatever their mountain is at that point in time, and their mountain could have been, losing 10 kilograms, or it could have been running a half marathon, or it could have been, marrying the person of their dreams. It doesn't matter what it is. They get to the top of the mountain, and then after a period of time, they feel like the real excitement that they had in getting there has worn off. And they wonder why. After they wanted it so much to lose those kilograms or do that marathon or marry the girl or guy of their dreams, all of a sudden they got there and then they fell off. And they've achieved it. What's actually gone wrong? Why don't they feel this sense of total fulfillment and total happiness? And I think this is something that a lot of us suffer with, right? When I get there, I'll be happy. When I get the money, I'll be happy. When I get the body, I'll be happy. When I get the car, I'll be happy. And then what we notice is that when we get that thing, we undergo something called hedonic adaptation. This basically means that you have adapted to the hedonism, the good stuff that thing actually brought. And this has constantly been the case with humans forever and a day. And if you're looking to things that provide you with longer lasting happiness, most often these things are going to be things that they have an end. My favorite example of this is a bottle of wine. If your favorite bottle of wine went forever, whilst that might sound good, actually you'd be less attracted to it if that were the case. And this is because things that run out or expire are actually really, really great at providing a little bit of happiness. However, I think that it's a trap. It's a trap to keep thinking that your happiness lies in externals. And I'm going to talk about something here, which is confusing the science of achievement or success with the art of fulfillment. I'm going to say that again, confusing the science of achievement with the art of fulfillment. You might ask, well, what's the difference in those two things, Jace? Well, firstly, I've called it a science. Why is success or achievement a science? Well, actually, that's simple, because it is replicable. One of the statements that's commonly used is that success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. If you go to any successful person in any industry, one of the best things that you can possibly do is analyze the shit out of that person and model what they are doing, because success leaves clues and therefore it's replicable. This makes it a science. There's common patterns. This is based on something called the law of cause and effect. If you copy the causes, the effect or the outcome, you're going to get eventually. Now let's talk about a fitness transformation journey. For me, what I've done is provided the guys inside the academy the blueprint. This is why transformation is a science. If you copy the blueprint, you will get the results. However, if you violate the rules of the blueprint and you don't copy the blueprint and you don't get results, well, your lack of application or your naivety is going to mean that you're doomed. You don't get to the results you want. And usually we measure those results in our health, our wealth, and relationships. So it's a science because it's replicable. However, the art of fulfillment is a little bit different. It's called an art because it's different for everyone. The way that we find fulfillment is so different from you to me. It's so different. And so it's an art because there's many different ways to skin this cat. However, before we go into the meat of this session, I want to leave you with this phrase: success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. I'm going to say that again. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. If you've got all of these things on a surface level, but ultimately you're still unhappy, something's gone wrong there. And you all know people who have more money than they know what to do with. They got all the gear, but no idea about how to fulfill themselves. And so this is a trap to think that fulfillment lies in something external to you. Okay, Jace, so where does it lie? Well, that's what I want to talk about here. So in my kind of, studying of Tony Robbins over this period of time, the last 10 years, what I came across is what Tony talks about as the 6 human needs. And these human needs are incredible. They explain exactly why people act as they do. And they also explain why people don't do what they do. When you're questioning, why aren't they doing that thing? It's because we are all motivated to different degrees by these 6 human needs. And what I'm going to do for the rest of this podcast is go through these 6 human needs for you. And I want to ask you to give me a kind of a silent scale in your mind, 1 out of 5, as to how important this is for you. All right, so let's get stuck into it, guys. Number 1 is the need for certainty. Okay, the need for certainty. What do I mean by this? Humans are driven by the need to, number 1, avoid pain in their lives, and to gain pleasure. That's a completely natural need. So if you feel like you're the sort of person that is extremely kind of attached to feeling certainty, okay, I want you to rate yourself highly, out of 5 or out of 10, as this being your thing. I need certainty. I like to be on time. I like to know exactly what the total cost of this is going to be. I need to know exactly when my sprinkler system is going to be installed. I need to know exactly what I'm eating for morning, lunch, and dinner. If you're the sort of person that values certainty, I want you to rank yourself high on this one. Number 2 of the human needs is the opposite of certainty: uncertainty or variety. Okay, so do you rank highly in the component variety? This is the need for having change or new stimuli. Do you get bored really easy? You might rank really highly in Uncertainty or variety is a human need if you find yourself chopping and changing between jobs and relationships. This would make complete sense that obviously if you get really bored in the same situation all the time, then this is because you value variety. So number 2 is variety. Number 1 is certainty. Number 3 is significance. Okay, significance is number 3. This is the personal desire to feel important. Okay, to feel important, to feel special, or to feel needed. And of course, there are different ways that we could express this need. So you might say, well, Jace, you're doing a podcast. This is about you needing to feel significant, right? That's the interpretation, perhaps. Or you might say, Jace, I've seen you on Facebook or Instagram posting with your shirt off. This is obviously your key need. I'm going to come back to that at the end. Okay, so ask yourself, significance. How do you fulfill this human need? Remember, what we're trying to do here, guys, is go a little bit deeper on why perhaps we're feeling a little bit unfulfilled despite maybe achieving on a surface level. So significance is number 3, the need to feel important. Number 4 is connection or love, okay? A strong feeling of closeness to your brothers and sisters, or union with your partner or something else or something. Maybe it's your dog or your cat. I don't care. But are you really driven by connection? Is connection your big thing? So if you're sitting there going, yeah, you know what? Like, that's my thing. It's connection. So if that is for you, I want you to rank that as a 10. If it is for you. If connection and feeling tied and close to something is a big driver in your life and shapes a lot of the decisions you make, bang, that's your one. Number 5 is growth, okay? So what does this actually mean? This is an expansion of your capabilities. If you can do 20 things now, and by the end of this year, you can do 25 things, and that means a lot to you, then that's an important part to your aspect. So if you're feeling unfulfilled, possibly this is because you've started dying on the inside. What I mean by this is you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're shrinking. And if you rank very high in this as a human need for you, you need to be continually listening to podcasts, watching, YouTube videos on how to technically do this thing. Maybe you need to be constantly enrolled in courses. Whatever it is for you, if growth ranks highly, then you're going to find that this is a need that you obviously have to fulfill. And your decisions will be shaped by how you do this. Now, the last one is contribution. Contribution is having a sense of service and a focus on helping people, giving to others, okay? Giving to others. Are you driven by this? Do you find yourself constantly feeling like, I don't know, like I'm just so driven by the idea of helping other people? And if this is the case for you, then if you're not helping other people, you are going to feel really, really stuck if you're just trapped in your own shit. Does this make sense? So, out of those, I'm going to read them again. Which one of the 6 is it for you? If you're watching live, you can write it in the comments. Certainty is number 1. Variety is number 2. Significance is number 3. Love and connections number 4. Growth is number 5. And contribution is number 6. Now, I'd be interested in knowing, and feel free to send me a DM. Let me know what yours is, what yours rank at. Now, let's talk a little bit about mine, because for a lot of people, they may look and think from the outside that, oh yeah, you take your shirt off in public and that's about fulfilling, a significance thing. That's what you need. Actually, it's not. The entire reason that I take a photo with my shirt off is simply to grab attention and say to people, at 39 years old, you don't have to go down the line of being unhealthy. This is just one way of grabbing attention. But I derive no sense of validation at all off all the likes, all the comments. No sense of validation at all. So where do I get my fulfillment from? And why do I wake up feeling happy, despite this COVID time that we're in here in North America, is because I feel really in connection as my big thing. That cup, I want you to imagine you've got 6 cups, and these 6 cups are lined out in front of you. Which cup do you need to fill up first every day? For me, it's connection and love. It's connection and love. The 4th of the human needs. If I've had an argument with my partner, which doesn't happen very often, that is like, I need to rectify that as soon as possible, or I just can't process, I just can't think. But where I get my real sense of connection and love is being able to, when I get a message through from one of my clients, and they say, man, you helped me lose 20 kilos and I feel so good now. Or guess what, Jace, I'm just fitting into this new pair of pants that I haven't fit into for ages and I'm just feeling so good about it. Thank you. This gives me an incredible amount of connection. And it also perhaps shows why number 2 in my list is contribution. Now, I want to talk a brief bit about contribution because I really do think that I have something to offer people who are contribution orientated as their largest human need. And that is a lot of people. What I see a lot of contributors getting stuck with is that they spend their entire existence trying to help other people. But in helping other people, they forget to help themselves. And so what does that lead to? Well, they become their own 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 20th priority. And gradually, they weasel away their health and start to get sick, end up dying at 50 or 60 years of age, which is the exact opposite of what they wanted, which was to be able to continue to help people for the rest of their lives. So in all of this, the thing that someone that is contribution orientated should do is look after their health. Because you look after your health, you're going to be around for an extra 20 or 30 years above your current life expectancy to be able to continue to shower your contribution and help and happiness and connection on the people in your circle. So we're going to wind this podcast up, guys. Bringing this to kind of a head, I think this is really important because if we are looking for fulfillment in the wrong places, now as an example, if you are someone who is high ranking in the need for variety, but you find yourself turning up to a day job over and over again, which is not inspiring you, and it doesn't matter how much money they pay you, you're not going to feel happy. Likewise, if you have a business where you feel like all you're doing is transacting money with people, but you're not offering a lot of value and you're not actually contributing to people's lives, well then you're going to feel very transactional. You're not going to feel like you're actually contributing, and therefore your main human need is not going to be met. Guys, chasing surface level health, wealth, and relationships is super important. It is very important. But it's important from the perspective that it will make your life easier and it will give you better. For example, if you have money, it's going to give you better ability to fulfill your human needs. But alone, money is not going to fulfill your human needs for you. And to the guys inside the Better Body Academy, please don't pin all of your happiness and fulfillment on when I hit my goal of getting under 100 kilograms. Or if you're a lady, when I get back into my favorite shirt or pants, I'm going to be happy. Because you will be in for a shock. It'll feel great at the start, but then eventually you will adapt. And when you do adapt, you're going to feel this sense of like, I need more. Is there something more here? Is there something more? There is something more. And my belief is it lies in fulfilling these cups, filling up your top 1, 2, or 3 cups to your best ability. a little bit of food for thought today, guys. I hope this video or this podcast has given you kind of something to think about. Guys, if you are enjoying the content of the podcast, I'd love if you could please share it on your stories, spread the word, subscribe. And that's it, guys. I'm going to leave it there for today. Thanks for tuning in. Facebook, Instagram. I love you guys, and we are out. Wolves and Warriors, thank you so much for tuning in. If this podcast is hitting the mark for you and giving you the confidence to start your own personal journey, I want you to hit me up on Facebook or head over to my Instagram at jstewart_BetterBodyAcademy and DM me with the words Better Body Academy. I want to give you the tools to permanently overhaul your mind and body without dumb diets and unsustainable workout programs. Our mission is to achieve 1 million lives transformed, and you, my friend, could be next. So hit me up on Facebook or head over to my Instagram at jstewart_BetterBodyAcademy and DM me with the words Better Body Academy, and we can have a chat about whether we can help you with your transformation goals.